What's up, guys? Welcome to SoCal Fishing Forecast for Thursday, June 18th. And summer's here. The party boats are open, and a little bit of COVID relief. Guys are starting to get back out on the water, a little bit more fishing pressure. But here we are, free of charge every Thursday. No fancy websites, no subscriptions, no sponsors. We're just here sharing the stoke every week. So if you like what you hear, or like what you see, learn something, please make sure you like, share. Let's get right after it. The weather so far is looking pretty good this week. We got mid 60s. Gonna have a little bit of overcast mornings here coming up, right into the nice weekend, and starting to heat up. Let's check out our windy.com wind forecast here. We got a pretty good little pattern we're coming off here today. A little bit of eddy flow this evening or this morning, and start that one over here. All right, so here's what we're looking at. Sorry, slight eddy flow. This is what we've been seeing in the mornings. A little overcast sky, a little bit of wind from the south, but very, very manageable. 4 or 5 knots. Makes for great spot fishing. Unfortunately, lately these fish really haven't been up on top, so may or may not help us. Hopefully they'll show up here. Saturday we got some normal onshore, normal flow, summertime flow. Nice 10 knots in the afternoon, and just a steady, consistent direction. It's going to help the fish bite. I'm really looking forward to this actually. If only I was in town, of course. I got plans for the weekend with the family, but. Later this week, you can tell it gets a little nasty on that side, but I want to point out Sunday, just for words of the wise, these conditions do ramp up, so if you're in the outer waters, just be careful. Wind forecasts this far out aren't super accurate, but keep an eye on it, as always, before you head out. That's what we got going on, but it looks like we're going to have the summertime conditions return to us for the most part. Let's take a look at the charts. Here's our 8-day color chart, and you can tell we've had a giant change in the last 7 days. We had a nice color break from basically from the 43 all the way down to below the upper 500, and that was a firm line. We were finding fish basically back and forth along that 7 days ago, but the wind's been blowing, things have changed. We've had this eddy current kind of flow behind back of San Clemente Island and pushing some of this more cleaner blue water up, and it's creating a diversion between our inner waters and our lower waters, and this is really going to put fish on the move here. So you're going to see over the next 4 or 5 days, these fish are going to be moving a lot. They're going to be not in the same place. So someone said that they saw a fish the day before. They got tails. They're going to be moving based on what we're seeing on these charts. So this is the 8-day chart. Got a nice temp break that's working along in this area. And if you look at the chloro as well, you can see it's lining up. I know it's a little blocked out here with the clouds and whatnot, but this is the same pattern that we're looking at. That was all was it on the 8-day chart. 8-day chart. So you can see this line that's been working in between a color break and also a temp break. So you want to align those items, the color and temp break, along with these high points, and that's typically where you're going to find these fish moving to. So they're going to zigzag back and forth across this, feeding on bait fish, going back in the blue water, feeding on bait fish, going back in the blue water, and they're going to be moving. So these fish that were up high, they might be moving a little bit west, they might be moving north. There was a spot of yellowfin that was up around the 182 earlier this week that were show and no go, but they are there. So we have ever-changing conditions as usual. Let's talk about what's been working. Catalina frontside fishing has been excellent for yellowtail. It seems like there's a little bit bigger fish that have moved in towards the upper front west side. But all in all, if you find the current, you're going to find the fish. It's been working. Now, the carnage will be out front again this week with squid. It's a little hit and miss with the squid. You don't need it necessarily, but if you got it, you got the candy. The kids like the candy. So try it out if you got it. If not, sardines and iron seem to be working as well. This also seems to be the pattern at San Clemente Island this week as well. You need the current. Thunderbird's been out there a bit. I know the Fury's been out there. They've been working on the front side. There's fish in pyramid as well. But generally speaking, you need the current. Sometimes it doesn't show up till late in the afternoon. But once you find that current, it's been working. But basically, you can fish sardine or iron, specifically mint color. Iron's been working pretty well lately. For the yellows that were in Pyramid Cove, I don't know if there's any squid left. There was some squid there earlier this year. I couldn't tell you if there's squid left or not. But they've been biting the sardine and the iron, and particularly you're going to want to be fishing 40-pound in the Pyramid area. They're kind of doing the hide and seek game, home guard game, where they're biting and swinging into structure, trying to break you off. So if you're fishing for yellowtail in these areas, try and fish 40-pound if they're on structure. If not, maybe you can lighten it up a little bit on a fly line. Coronados have had some yellows. Been a real hit or miss. Seems like the grade lately has been a little bit on the smaller side, the 10 to 15-pound. I had a friend that was down there on Monday fishing, scored a couple by himself. But all in all, it seems like fishing is really starting to turn on this summer, and I'm really looking forward to it. The tuna game has gone in a different direction. It doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of fish being caught in the last couple of days, and that's really because people need to start looking around. They've been kind of parked in the same spot for almost 2 months, and now that conditions are changing, these fish are on the move. In the 371 area, there's been some bluefin. They've been the smaller grade, the 20 to 40-pound grade. There's some yellowfin mixed in there, 25, 30-pound as well. The fish that were on the upper hidden bank had slid down to basically the hidden bank and all the way down to the trench. And those were those big jumbo bluefin, 100 to 200-pound fish. They haven't kind of been around today or the day before. Not saying that they're gone, but they're moving around. So I'd be looking for color and temp breaks for these fish. Make sure you check in the green water as well. Work these lines back and forth. Generally speaking, that's how you're going to find these. If you're in the zone, there's been a lot of sonar fish not on the surface at all. So you're going to look for fish that are in between 50, 300 feet of water. And typically those are the ones that you have to work and try and get them up. So if you find the fish on the sonar, you can try skipping a yummy run in that area, and then start working the dead flying fish on the kite as well. Another little trick, I mentioned this before, when you're flying a dead yummy, do not hesitate to drop a sardine or a mackerel down on just like a rubber band sinker. Tie it up like 15 feet up your line, 20 if you want, however long later you want. And you want to use a heavier weight, maybe 10 pound, or not 10 pound, 10 ounce weight, and drop that bait down. Try and get those fish to react to it. If you're seeing fish on your sonar 50 to 100 feet, drop it down 50 to 100 feet. Try and get them to react to it. If they're not going to come up and look at your floating fish, you got to bring the appetizer to their mouth, and hopefully you'll get a good look at it. But all in all, conditions look pretty good, guys. I know these fish are moving around a little bit, but that's what you got to do. Track them down. It's called fishing. But all the followers out there, have yourselves a wonderful holiday weekend, and spend time with your family. That's what I'm going to be doing. Unfortunately, I'm not fishing this weekend, but the weekend after that, that's the plan. We're gonna put the pain to them. So, all right, guys, take care. Have a good one.